At it again. We got to talk about AOC and her getting asked a question in the blabbering mess she turns into. It's honestly hilarious. But before we get into that, we're gonna take a little trip down memory lane with the good brother Terrence K. Williams. And I'm sure you guys are gonna laugh at this. I know when I first saw this clip, I was just, oh man, laughing out loud, seriously. Like, forget LOL typed on the screen. Like, I was legitimately laughing out loud when I first saw this clip. So yeah, let's take a trip down memory lane. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. And let's dive in.
Facility, I was not safe from the officers in that facility.
Chairman, was the fact that there were American flags hanging all over these facilities, that children were being separated from their parents in front of an American flag, that women were being called these names under an American flag. We cannot allow for this.
Know what we're doing today? We are putting America first, not hate. So you all can yell and scream, but what we saw today, what we did today, is try to.
We saw today was unconscionable. No child should ever be separated from their parent. No child should ever be taken from their family. No woman should ever be locked up in a pen when they have done no harm to another human being. They should be given water. They should be given basic access to human rights. And it is a false notion. The idea that we have to choose between people is a false notion. No child ever has to suffer for the benefit of another. And I will never accept.
I'm going to talk about their parents, the mothers, the abuelas, the tias, the madres that I sat with, who wept openly in our arms, not even knowing our names, because of the trauma they are experiencing, and because they don't know where their children are. Keep yelling. This is very appropriate. Vile rhetoric for vile actions. Hateful rhetoric for hateful behavior. Racist words and venom for racist policies. Very apropos. This is bigger than a funding debate.
Girl, bye. These are a bunch of hypocrites.
Bro, he didn't even say anything until the very end. And I'm just over here just screaming. Just casually just eating. As these actors act, right? Goodness gracious. One thing I would be interested to learn is where all these folks got their acting lessons from. Because they have all of a sudden turned into like these actors all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Now, granted, these were some older clips, but even still to this day, right? Actors. So, as I'm sure you guys could have guessed by now, we have to talk about the border, okay? Which is why I played that clip there at the beginning, and also because Terrence is absolutely hilarious. If you don't follow him, go give him a follow. Guys, absolutely hilarious. Terrence K. Williams is his name. I'm sure most of you already know who he is. The guy is... the guy's funny. All right? That was just one clip, okay? And he didn't even say anything until the very end. Of course, you know, he said some things, but it was funny to me, like, that whole 2 minutes without him saying even a single word. Just him there munching. Anyway, yeah, like I said, we got to talk about the border because AOC was asked a specific question about the border and the kids, right? Which is why, you know, you heard the kids and everything in that first clip. And her answer to it is like the most, what's a way to describe it? Like it just doesn't make sense. You know, it's like it's a head scratcher. You know, just the word salad, the word gymnastics, whatever you however you wanna phrase that. Like she did it to a T. It's absolutely insane. Let's jump right on into it. Check it out.
Are you for real? So let's talk about this because...
So if you guys didn't catch it, this is the question. Why are you not addressing the border crisis and the kids in cages like you used to? Now, listen to her answer.
Are you for real? So let's talk about this because so much of our national conversation, which is not a conversation about immigration, is driven by people who could not care less about immigrants. Often people want to say, why aren't you talking about the border crisis? Or why aren't you talking about it in this way? Well, we're talking about it. They just don't like how we're talking about it because it's not a border crisis. It's an imperialism crisis. It's a climate crisis. It's a trade crisis. And also, it's a carceral crisis. They want to say, what about the surge? Well, first of all, just gut check, stop. Anyone who's using the term surge around you consciously is trying to invoke a militaristic frame. And that's a problem because this is not a surge. These are children and they are not insurgents and we are not being invaded, which, by the way, is a white supremacist idea, philosophy.
You know, when you sit and listen to some of these folks on the left talk, the squad, right? Sometimes all you could do is just sit and just shake your head. You know, like I just like it's honestly incredible the type of stuff that they say. It really is. You know, like I would love to be a fly on the wall inside of AOC's home so I could hear like the private conversations where she's not put in front of a camera or a screen, right? Where she has to put on this act. I want to see the real AOC, you know, like there's no possible way any of these folks are genuinely like this. Oh my goodness. And she said that it's not an invasion. Anyone that calls it an invasion is a white supremacist. Isn't that what she said?
We're not insurgents and we are not being invaded, which, by the way, is a white supremacist idea.
You know, I love how Democrats always go to white supremacy. The leader of your party is white. I think they forgot that fact. White supremacy. The leader of the Democrat Party is white. Actually, like the three top people are all white. Man, you don't get anybody of color until the fourth person, and that's Hakeem Jeffries, because we all know Nancy Pelosi is above Hakeem. They put on this act, right? That he is, but you know, Nancy Pelosi's calling more shots than Hakeem Jeffries. But you got Joe Biden, you got Chuck Schumer, and Nancy Pelosi. And let's not forget about Hillary. You know, she's probably pulling some strings too, if you know what I mean. Which I actually saw something interesting about that whole Hillary situation. But anyway, so you know, it's just interesting. It's just very interesting how they always talk about white supremacy whenever anything that they don't agree with comes up. Oh, well, that's a white supremacist. So, but yeah, it's always funny how that works. Also, she said it was a climate crisis.
So let's talk about this because so much of our national conversation, which is not about immigrants. Often people want to say this, or why aren't you talking about it in this way? They just don't like how we're talking about it because it's not a border crisis. It's an imperialism crisis. It's a climate crisis. It's a trade crisis.
Oh man, these folks can't be serious, man. Oh goodness gracious, it's a climate crisis. Goodness gracious, wow. You know, Democrats do that all the time too, though. Like whenever you ask them, oh well, it's thisophobic, thatophobic, and oh it's imperialism crisis, it's a climate crisis, it's a this crisis, and a that crisis. Like they always try to like stack up a bunch of stuff onto one thing. Oh, it is crazy. But hey, we're always here to call them out on it. Guess it makes good comedy for us. Anyway, y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.